Everyone, good morning. So today's topic is Gen AI, right? That is the most exciting topic on the planet right now. So let's get started. So what is Gen AI? Gen AI refers to a branch of AI that focuses on creating models and algorithms capable of generating new content. So so generating new content is the important part here. Okay. So unlike traditional AI models that are trained to perform specific tasks, generative AI models aim to learn and mimic patterns from existing data to generate new unique outputs. So this is the crucial difference between previous or earlier machine learning models. So Gen AI is the uh, breakthrough technology where we can generate new things. Okay, we can generate new images, videos, music, new idea designs, new code, new music, and so on. So, isn't it exciting? So, so let's get moving. So, the evolution. So, journey to generative AI. So, started with 2010 and before. So, where we have near perfect translation of natural language. Then comes to 2014. Then we made some progress. Researcher made some progress. Okay. Then 2017 to 2022 period, we had large language models evolving, right? And then coming 2022, we have conversational large language models, foundational model like ChatGPT, which taken the world by storm, right? So thank you to Gartner for this slide. Now coming to how Gen AI works. For the most part, Gen AI operates in three phases. First is training. We have to train the model, then tuning, okay, and then generation. So what are foundational models? Foundational models are base models pre-trained with a vast amount of information. Means very large amount of information, like in petabytes or terabytes of information, internet scale data. Okay. So this is different than traditional NLP models where it focuses on only one task, but here foundational models are focusing on multiple tasks. Okay. Then coming to the base of Gen AI, that is embeddings. So embeddings are a way of representing data in a low dimensional space. So because if you have multiple data points, so suppose you have a data, okay, suppose you have assume visualize data as in an Excel where you have thousands of columns, thousands of features, thousands of columns. So then it will be very difficult for machine to uh, find the nearest point or do the calculation. But if we squeeze it into low dimensional space, it becomes very easy to represent the data and do the calculation as well. So embeddings represent the data in a low dimensional space. So they are used to capture the semantic meaning of words, images, or other types of data. Okay. Now we have vector database. So vector database is used to store the vector embeddings, right? So uh, so vector database is primarily used for providing the context to LLM model. Okay. So this is important part, context. So we have many vector databases in the market like uh, 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 Pine, we have, right, Pinecone, yeah, and Redis and so on. So so it's quite a useful database or technology to so which helps in Gen AI. Okay. Now these are some of the steps how Gen AI works. How the when you search for something, when you ask something to ChatGPT or Copilot, how it works. So it works on these steps primarily. So like First of all, we have to create a knowledge base. We have to train the model. We have to create the embeddings for all these data input text. Okay, and then embeddings are generated in this format. Okay, then embeddings are stored in the vector database, and once your user queries, the data is fetched from vector database and given back to the user. So we have one more part here, LLM. So here LLM, it goes to LLM and fetches the data, so that we will see in the next slide. So yeah, this is the better visualization. So here we are giving the unstructured data. We ask the questions. Okay, then embeddings are created of this. Embeddings are stored on vector database. Then the prompts are given to the large language models with the contextual data from the vector database. So this is important, otherwise LLM will hallucinate. Okay, and then LLM will give back the result to the user. Okay, so what is a token? Token is a unit of characters that represent a collection of characters, numbers, punctuation, and unseen characters. So it serves as the fundamental building block for language models, because here we are talking about language models like the the text, right? So we are primarily conversing with the language models to get the text back, like get the sentence back, complete sentence back. So here uh, the the text the question which we are putting to the LLM are broken down into tokens. Okay, so tokenization is the process of converting text into tokens. So different language models employ their own tokenization methods. So for instance, GPT-3 utilizes byte pair encoding to tokenize text. Okay, as you can see, the sentence "Hello world" is can be represented like this: "Hello" and "world" and an exclamation. So this is like breaking down the sentence into multiple tokens, and then this is passed to the LLM. Okay. Now, as we seen earlier, how vector database enhance the memory of LLMs. So LLMs tend to hallucinate when they lack context, because LLM are trained on so much large amount of data that it will lack context, in the sense that it will give some output which is not relevant to our questions. So we have to narrow down, or we have to ask LLM to focus on one particular context, and from there it will give us the required text back. Okay, required text summary back. Okay, so this is just a representation of the flow. Okay, so content, user, and then embedding are created, then it goes then vector database gives the context, okay, to the LLMs, then LLMs gives back the proper required data without any hallucination. Okay, so the vector database is the crucial part here. If vector database is not fine-tuned or not properly uh, made up, then it will be giving wrong data to LLM. Okay, so these are some of the generative AI use cases. So we have like customer service, fraud prevention, code generation, summary, right? Code summarization, or text summarization, and as a chatbot or a financial advisor, content generation, new images, new video generation, new code generation, meeting summarization. After the team's meeting is over, it can summarize the meeting. Okay, so these are some of the very useful use cases, though there are multiple such use cases. I have only put in few, so the scope is expanding. So now we have AI agents as well, right? so where it can take autonomous decisions. Okay, so that is an upcoming branch of Gen AI LLM use cases. These are some of the Gen AI security OAPs for top 10 topics. So because security, data security is very important, but as you know, any application is subject to security risk. So these are some of the top 10 categories where Gen AI applications can be at risk of data security. Okay, so these are like prompt injections, training data is not correct, denial of service, DDoS attack, supply chain permission issues, excessive permissions given to the LLM model or application, data leakage, not properly data is not properly controlled in that perimeter, sorry, excessive agency, over reliance, insecure plugins, so not properly tested plugins are used to fetch data, so it can be risk of hacking by the hackers, right? So this is all about Gen AI basics. So thank you for giving your time on this video. Thank you so much, guys, and please subscribe.